And we did, man, 91
Wow.
one-nighters.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we did 91 one-nighters one night with them.
Did you do a lot of shows with Alan Freed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a whole lot with him.
So you would
Yep.
basically, on those shows, you would go, the Coasters would come out and do what, maybe 4 or 5 numbers?
Yeah, we would do,
Yeah.
we were, at the time, yeah, we were doing 4 numbers.
Right.
On that tour, we were doing 4 numbers.
That's the days, Dick, when they would have like 12 acts or something. I remember one time seeing the Monotones.
Man, you have a whole busload.
I know, and it'd be a great show for the audience, because you'd see all these people with current hits, and they do 2, 3 numbers, and somebody else comes out. Great variety. Nowadays, you sit for 2.5 hours, it could be just one act. But you got to get this. These 2 CDs on. They're on cassette too. Okay.
That sounds great.
I think it's the best collection ever.
It is.
I think it's got everything on there, except there may be a few things not on there, but.
I'm Leon Hughes of the Coast.
Oh, you don't have.
Hi, Jim Pewter.
Yeah, we can do that at the end, Leon. That'll be after the show. But just can get used to looking at it. Take your time with it. See, what I'll do is I'll put those in when I play your tunes. I'll put your voice in on a cart and then play a Coaster song, any Coaster song that comes up that relates to 57 or 58.
We even have on the hall for you.
What's that?
On the hall for you, baby.
Oh, you remember that?
Leon sang it.
Oh, Dick, could you make a copy too, just to have? Testing 1, 2.
Oh yeah, well what I'll do is I'll dub off a copy.
Okay, yeah. Let me see, let me put this over here. You want to get some more levels, we'll be talking a little bit. This is an album I brought along, Coasters. It was the first one. Leon Hughes is my guest. And this had Searchin', Brazil, Turtle Doven. This is the one, I remember this in the record stores when it came out. And I imagine there was even some 45s, well, not only 45s, but there were 78s on the Coasters too, wasn't there?
Yes, we had a few 78s.
Yeah, those are really collectible today. But it says right here, it says Carl Gardner, lead tenor, Billy Guy, baritone, Bobby Nunn, bass, Leon Hughes, tenor. It says you were 7 years old when you started touring with your mother and father as a trio.
Mm-hmm.
You joined the Four Flames, later joined the Lamplighters before you were in the Coasters.
Right.
So you go way back, yeah. Well, we're going to hear some of the cuts from here, but this is almost a mint album. I'm going to show it to you. See how clean that is.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I'll have you autograph this too when we finish.
Okay.
How's the levels, Dick?
Yeah, it's pretty good. We need Leon to talk just a little bit.
Just a little bit more? Okay, testing 1, 2. We're not recording, we're just getting a level. I'll say we're going to come out of Down in Mexico. Down in Mexico was the first Coasters hit, wasn't it, Leon?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Tell me about how the group got started. I know before you were the Coasters, you were the Robins. And why do you think that changed? Why did the Robins become known as the Coasters?
Well, the way that all happened, there was too many Robins.
Oh, is that right?
So they had to divide the group up.
Yeah.
So then that's when some of us went to the Coasters, and then Terrell and them stayed as the Robins.
I see. Yeah. So Lieber and Stoller, Jerry Lieber, Mike Stoller were the producers, and they were producing you as the Robins, and then they decided, let's start a Coasters group. And you went in the studio and you cut Down in Mexico, and that's the song that really got the Coasters started, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
That was the big thing.
And who was playing sax on that? You mentioned Plaz Johnson.
Plaz Johnson.
Yeah, because everyone kind of assumes that King Curtis was playing sax on all these records.
No, he came in when it got to be Yakety Yak
Right.
and Charlie Brown and all that.
Yeah. Okay, how's that level? Oh, he said it's fine now. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to just leave the levels like that. We're going to talk like that. Basically, what we're going to do is we'll talk about a minute and a half max in between cuts. And when my hand goes up like this, that means you don't have to quickly end it, but we'll just anticipate we're going to go into a song. And I'll just kind of lead you right into it.
Okay.
Jim Pewter program number 5411 for Friday. Hey, everybody jump up in your seat. Wow. Here is a man with a million beats. Wow. He make you jump, he make you sing. Wow. He'll do just about anything. Wow. Everybody gonna rock and roll steady with the Jim Pewter Show. Hi-ho, diddly-dum. Here comes Jim and now look at him run. We and whopping down old Broadway, rocking and rolling till the break of day. Everybody on the rock roll steady with the Jim Pewter Show. 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 Down in the Mexicali, there's a crazy little place that I know, where the drinks are hotter than the chili sauce, and the boss is a cat named Joe. He wears a red bandana, plays a blues piano in a honky-tonk down in Mexico. He wears a purple sash and a black mustache in a honky-tonk down in Mexico. Well, the first time that I saw him, he was a-sitting on a piano stool. I said, tell me, Dad, when does the fun begin? He just winked his eye and said, man, be cool. He wears a red bandana, plays a blues piano in a honky-tonk down in Mexico. He wears a purple sash and a black mustache in a honky-tonk down in Mexico. In Mexico. All of a sudden in walks a chick. In Mexico. Joe starts playing on a Latin kick. In Mexico. Around her waist she wore 3 fishnets. In Mexico. She started dancing with the castanets. In Mexico. I didn't know just what to expect. In Mexico. She threw her arms around my neck. In Mexico. We started dancing all around the floor, and then she did a dance I never saw before. So if you're south of the border, I mean down in the Mexico, and you wanna get straight, man, don't hesitate. Just look up a cat named Joe. He wears a red bandana, plays a blues piano in a honky-tonk down in Mexico. He wears a purple sash and a black mustache in a honky-tonk down in Mexico. Hey, come with me to the border, south of the border, that is, in the Mexico. Yeah, that's right, Mexico. Yeah, you can get your kicks in Mexico. Come with me, baby. Come with me. Come with me, yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Coasters in the Rock Shop with Jim Pewter with their first hit in 1956 down in Mexico. Like I promised you, I've got one of the original members of the Coasters right here in our show, Mr. Leon Hughes. Welcome, Leon.
Hi, Jim. How's everything?
Fine.
That's good.
It's been a long time since you heard that, I bet, huh?
Oh, yes. Because every once in a while we do it.
Yeah.
And everybody now, they want to hear Yakety Yak and Charlie Brown, and they really don't want to go too far back at times.
Let's talk about the early days. Before you were in the Coasters, you were in the Robins, and the Robins had Smokey Joe's Cafe, I remember, and Riot and Cell Block. Was it number 9? Yeah,
Cell Block's number 9.
Right. What happened? How come? What caused the split with the members of the Robins starting the Coasters up?
Well, it was too many.
There's too many?
Yeah, they couldn't make any money like that. So we had to figure out a way to make some money. So Bobby and I, Carl and Billy, we went on and started up the Coasters.
I see. Yeah. Came out with the one we just heard down in Mexico.
Correct.
Jerry Lieber, Mike Stoller were your producers. They were from Los Angeles, but then they moved back to New York, and
Right.
they started writing songs for you. And the summer of 1957, I remember it well because you guys put out a double-sided hit, and it was a
Right.
song that stayed on the top 40 for months.
Correct.
And it was called Searchin' was the side we're going to hear right now.
Okay.
So you ready to go one more time and search a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for it.
All right.
Gonna find her. Gonna find her. Gonna find her. Gonna find her. Yeah, I've been searching. I'm searching. Oh yeah, searching every which way. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, searching. I'm searching, searching every which way, yeah, yeah. But I'm like that northwest mountain. You know I'll bring her in someday. Gonna find her. Well, now if I have to swim the river, you know it. And if I have to climb a mountain, you know it. And if she's hiding up on a blueberry hill, am I gonna find a child? You know will, 'cause I've been searching. Oh yeah, searching. My goodness, searching every which way, yeah, yeah. But I'm like that northwest mountain. You know I'll bring her in someday. Gonna find her. Well, Sherlock Holmes, Sam Spade, got nothing, child on me. Sergeant Friday, Charlie Chan, and Boston Blackie. And no matter where she's hiding, she's gonna hear me coming. I'm gonna walk right down that street like bulldog drumming. 'Cause I've been searching. Oh Lord, my searching. Child, searching every which way, yeah, yeah. But I'm like that northwest mountain. You know I'll bring her in someday.
Coasters with Leon Hughes, still searching, huh? I'm Jim Pewter in the Rock Shop. And Leon, you were telling me that that wasn't going to be the original A-side, was it?
No, Youngblood was the A side on this. And what happened back east, one of the guys flipped it over by mistake. And when he did that, Youngblood shot up.
So that was a DJ somewhere in
Right,
the
it
East,
was
yeah.
some DJ, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to flip it around again, and we're going to hear Youngblood. My special guest is Leon Hughes of the Coasters in the Rock Shop with Jim Pewter, and we'll hear Youngblood right after this.
Do you remember your child's first words? You probably waited anxiously by his side day after day for that important moment. And when your child finally learned to speak, it was such a relief. Suddenly you knew why he was crying. You understood his needs. Now that he's talking, how well do you listen? Do you really try to understand his views?
Okay, this, the thing doesn't move. This thing, it goes up.
You've waited so long for him to talk. Now's the time to listen.
Jim Pewter on AFRTS. I saw her standing on the corner, a yellow ribbon in her hair. I couldn't keep myself from shouting, look there. Look at there. Look at there.
Look at that.
Young blood. Young blood. Tell me what it is. Young blood. I can't get you out of my mind. I took one look and I was fractured. I tried to walk but I was lame. I tried to talk but I just your name?
What's your name?
Young blood. Young blood. Young blood. I can't get you out of my mind. What crazy stuff. She looks so tough. I had to follow her all the way home. Then things went bad. I met her dad. He said,
You better leave my daughter alone.
well, I couldn't sleep a wink for trying. I saw the rising of the sun, and all night long my heart was crying. Why, you're the one.
Y'all the one.
You're the one.
You're the one.
Young girl. Oh, young girl. Young girl. I can't get you out of my mind. Young girl. Oh, young girl. Young girl. I can't get you out of my mind.
Coasters, my special guest is Leon Hughes, original member of one of the greatest vocal groups of all time. Right after Searchin' Youngblood, you released another one of my all-time favorites, Leon. It was a song called Idol with the Golden Head. And
Yes.
It was different, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Let me just ask you before we get to that tune. You recorded these tunes in New York City, right?
Well, some.
Some of them? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And some of them here.
Yeah. And your background is, you're from where now?
L.A.
Okay. And recording in New York City, was that quite an experience for you at the time? Was it different from L.A. as far as the way they put things together on tape back then and the production and all that?
Well, a little, but most of the thing back there was so made difference is that you did it there at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, here we did it earlier, you know.
Why is that? Cheaper rate?
Well, I think so.
Yeah. Well, the music sounded great, I'll tell you that. This Idol with the Golden Head, I mentioned to you earlier about Steve Martin had that King Tut record out, and that's where he got it from, is this one right here, I know.
Right.
This was never a huge hit, but it's always been kind of a favorite of mine and a favorite a lot of Coasters fans always like this tune. What was the reaction when this came out and it didn't go as like top 10 like Youngblood or Searchin'? What was the talk then? Were they had
Well, I think most thing that was, it was just something that they could play around with.
Yeah.
And everybody, they did this thing, but they played with it, and they said, well, I like it, but it'll pass, you know, one of those type of things.
Yeah.
So then we just said, well, just play it on then.
Okay, well, let's do that right now. All right.
Bought myself an idol with a golden head. Great big idol with the golden head. Put it on a shelf right above my bed. Great big idol with the golden head. Got down on my knees and began to pray. Great big idol with the golden head. I said, idol, tell me where's my Bigfoot made. Great big idol with the golden head. The idol's eyes began to wink and blink. Great big idol with the golden head. He said, hold on, Jim, give me time to think. Great big idol with the golden head. The lightning flashed and the idol did speak. Great big idol with the golden head. He said, your Bigfoot mate, she's down at Catfish Creek, rocking and a rolling. Yeah, she's rocking and a rolling. Rocking and a rolling. Rocking and a rolling. Rocking and a rolling. Hopping and a bopping and a bumping and a jumping. I said goodbye to the idol sitting on my shelf. Oh, gee, what did you see? Went down to the creek to see for myself. Oh, gee, what did you see? I parked my car and I looked around. Oh, gee, what did you see? There was a mess of empty beer cans laying on the ground. Oh, gee, what did you see? I peeped through the door and my hair turned gray. Oh, gee, what did you see? In the middle of the floor that was Bigfoot May, rocking and a rolling. Yeah, she was rocking and a rolling. Rocking and a rolling. Rocking and a rolling. Rocking and a rolling. Hopping and a bopping and a bumping and a jumping and a I went back to the house, I was feeling so blue. Great big idol with the golden head. I said, tell say, rockin' and a rollin', yes, rockin' and a rollin', rockin' and a rollin', hoppin' and a poppin' and a bumpin' and a jumpin' and a hoppin'.
Hey, Coasters with Leon Hughes. I'm Jim Pewter in the Rock Shop. Idle with the Golden Head, but on the recording you were saying what now? Tell us.
Idle with the golden head.
Which is your wife, who's
Right,
here right here.
right.
Yeah. they said, you're not saying it right. Is that right?
Yeah, they said, what are you saying, man? You're not singing it right. I said, yes, I am. I said, what are you saying? Idle with the golden head. They says, idle. I said, oh.
That's wild.
But it was too late, man.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's released and it was out. You did a lot of shows back then, I imagine, with like disc jockey Alan Freed, and you were saying when Searchin' and Youngblood were on the charts, how many shows were you doing a week?
Oh, man, we was done 7 days a week.
Wow.
Yeah, we was done one a night. That's when we was on this night. We had 91 nighters to do, and it was murder.
You would come out and do what, maybe 4 or 5 tunes?
4 tunes. We'd
Yeah.
come out and do 4 tunes.
Can you mention some of the other people you were touring with at the time that you remember?
The Platters, Clyde McFadden, the Drifters, Charlie, oh God, just all of them.
Yeah.
Sam Cooks, the Satins,
5 Satins, yeah.
and the Harptones, the Schoolboys, Frank and Lyman.
Okay.
Yeah, just go on and on. Laverne, Ruth Brown, all of them.
We're going to feature the Coasters' first #1 song, and I know you remember that well because you've probably done it thousands of times, and we'll have it for you right after this.
Diane, everyone at the bazaar is going crazy over your shawls. I should learn how to knit like that. I could start my own business, too.
It's not all that hard. I went over to the Family Service Center and got into a workshop and... Excuse me. Yes, ma'am. The red one. Oh, okay, that'll be $18.
You know, if I could learn to knit like that, and I got a whole bunch of steel wool, maybe I could start whipping out 57 T-birds. What do you think? And we'll have fun.
See your Family Service Center to learn more about developing your earning potential.
Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak!
Don't talk back.
Just finish cleaning up your room. Let's see that dust fly with that broom. Get all that garbage out of sight, or you don't go out Friday night. Yakety yak!
Don't talk back.
You just put on your coat and hat and walk yourself to the laundromat. And when you finish doing that, bring in the dog and put out the cat. Yakety yak!
Don't talk back.
Don't you give me no dirty looks. Your father's hip, he knows what cooks. Just tell your hoodlum friend outside, you ain't got time to take a ride. Yakety yak!
Don't talk back.
Yakety yak, yakety yak. Yakety yak, yakety yak. Yakety yak, yakety yak.
Leon Hughes of the Coasters is in the Rock Shop with Jim Pewter. You're still on the road a lot, right, with the group?
Yes,
Leon?
I am.
Yeah.
I have my own group now.
Okay. We just want the people to know. I want to clear something up with you, and I travel around the country and the world, and I sometimes will see a marquee and will say, Coasters playing tonight. I go in there, and there's none of them are original Coasters. And how come this continues, phony groups out there? Is it because someone owns the name and they can, hire different people to be a coaster?
Yeah, in some cause, yes, they do that. But most of those guys are getting with these phony promoters. And the promoters are doing this. They know then when the original come in, they said, oh, it's just a tribute.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But they fool the public in and say they got original people.
Right. They'll call it a tribute to the coasters.
Then they'll start saying tribute once one of us come in.
I see. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not but just myself, Billy Guy, Carl Gardner, and Dub Jones is still here.
I see. So that's good that you tell the people that, so they
That's
know
right.
that.
That's
So
right.
anytime you go up to some of the coasters that are playing in your area, mention those names. And I remember one time Robert and Johnny were playing supposedly in El Monte, California, and I went up to the two guys, and they looked kind of young to be Robert and Johnny. They had a hit in 1958, We Belong Together. And I said, are you guys really Robert and Johnny? And they said, oh yeah, we recorded We Belong Together. I said, what was the flip side of that record? And the guy says, he got he said, he didn't know, it was In the Rain, but he didn't know
Right.
it wasn't the original group. But I've seen there's been Platters groups around, a lot
Correct.
of Drifters
Correct.
groups.
Yes.
Right. And it continues on. You mentioned about the USO. You're involved with them too, aren't you?
Yeah, they just made me last month the ambassador of the USO. So I got to go back there, and then I get with Bob Hope. They're supposed to take pictures of me with Bob and all of this. Then I go back to Washington, D.C.
Oh, great. That sounds exciting, meeting Bob Hope. I met him back in 1965, and he's certainly a legend. I want you to introduce one of your hits from 1960, the one Besame Mucho, maybe a little story behind it.
Well, that came when we went to Mexico, and it was a girl there, and she was doing this dance, and her name was, I think her name was Betsy or something like that. And then they said, well, why don't you guys sing Besame Mucho? We said, we don't know it, but we will find it.
All right.
Besame, besame mucho. Each time I cling to your kiss, I hear music divine. Besame, besame mucho. Hold me, my darling, and say that you'll always be mine. Dearest one, if you should leave me, each little dream would take wings and my life would be through. Besame, besame, besame mucho. Love me forever and make all my dreams come true.
This joy is something new. My arms enfolding you. Never knew this thrill before. Whoever thought I'd be holding you close to me, whispering it's you I adore.
Dearest one, baby, if you should leave.
Time to move on. Thank you, Leon Hughes of the Coasters, for sharing the memories with us, okay?
Thank you, Jim.
All right. I'm Jim Pewter. Remember, we went to different high schools together. So long. Here's King Curtis and Soul Twist.